Hey, welcome to Toontyme, bringing you Newcastle United news and discussion. So, I guess I'm not the only one who's enjoying today. It's a good performance. Well, in parts. There's, throughout the game, I don't know what it was today. It just seemed like a bit of, I don't want to say fatigue, but it seemed at times we were just labouring at times throughout the game. But when our opportunities came, and we put a few passing moves together, when the chances come, it was just clinical. Miguel Almiron looking sharper and sharper every time he gets in front of goal. He's that confidence that looks like he's got within himself, and that's been instilled. It seems from Eddie Howe. It just seems to grow every time he gets near the goal. That he's willing to. He knows he's got a clear picture in his mind what he wants to do next. And then Chris Wood, when he scored, it was pivotal. It was a pivotal moment in the game because we were looking shaky, and Southampton were getting a few crosses in. I think just before then, Che Adams missed a chance that he should have scored. Even before half time, they should have scored. Is it El Yunusi? He had a tap in basically, and they just showed their lack of quality up front, which personally I'm very thankful for, as that could have destabilized us in that game. Because watching Southampton throughout the game, there were times where you could see they were just trying to disrupt our rhythm, slow down the tempo. It was taking a long time to take their throw-ins. I was quite happy to hit the deck whenever one of our players, even as much as breezed by them. So you seen how the tactic today is try and disrupt our flow as much as possible, and then take advantage of that when they could, because they got some good crosses in, to be honest. And I did say that on the Twitter that especially in that first half, that their crosses were looking very dangerous. Maybe if they had better attackers, it would have caused our defense even more problems. And it seemed today, I don't know, it wasn't I want to say the focus wasn't there, but we just seemed a bit slow at times to things, and it was just at times it seemed not that we were going through the motions, but we were just expecting things to be a bit easier. It seems it was strange, that game against Southampton. Is for the most part, for me, we deserved that win, but there were just times where you just showed like poor decision making, or passes were under hit, or just weren't fully there. But for me, like they say, the sign of a good team is being capable of winning even when playing poorly. And I think even Eddie Howe said it as well, that it was it wasn't a great performance, but it still won anyway. And that was the most important thing. We got those 3 points. We've consolidated the third spot. So mathematically, going into the World Cup break, we can't be knocked out of the top four at the very least. So that's gonna be good for the spirit of the team, of the dressing room. Because basically we're going into like a mini pre-season now, and to have that to go into that on such a positive note currently is gonna be a huge bonus for us when the World Cup finishes and we come back in December. We've got the games against Crystal Palace and Chelsea, and I hope we continue with what's been happening, and we push on and try and get results in both games. And treat both with as much importance and respect as they deserve. Because having a cup run is important, but you know, to continue within the league is even more important for me right now, because that's the bread and butter, to be as strong as possible within your domestic league, and that will help attracting the type of players we want to see at the club, especially if we're thinking about trying to make a push for the European places this year. I don't want to, tempt fate, and talk about Champions League places, but finishing within the top 6, 7 is very possible at the very least this season, considering what we've seen. I know everyone says we're gonna have a dip in form because every club does during the season. It's very rare that you won't, and we'll see what happens when that moment happens to us. But if we can at least go into the January transfer window in in the places that we're currently in, it will become a lot more attractive to prospective players, and I feel that's what we want. We want to be able to get as much quality within the squad as possible, as quickly as possible. I think, like I've been saying from the start of this season, that there's a whole lot of things up in the air, especially with this World Cup being mid-season, and it's going to disrupt a lot of things for a lot of teams, especially teams with a lot of international players. So we're just gonna have to try our best to take advantage of the opportunity that's available to us, and that's what we have to do. Just make hay while the sun is shining, and it is certainly shining on Newcastle right now. This is a really important moment in time for the club, so we have to continue going forward and just do as much as possible to be as effective as possible, and that's what we're trying to do. Like I was saying throughout this game, it was a performance which was a bit scattergun, but when we had our opportunities, we took them. I was glad to find out that Callum Wilson is just suffering from a bit of after effects from his cold, and it wasn't as an injury, like a muscle injury or anything of that sort. So he should be available for Chelsea. Hopefully Eddie Howe will rotate the team, and I think he should prioritize the league right now. Just but you got to keep the momentum going as well, and that to beat Crystal Palace will be really important as well. So he's got to find balance to maintain, and I'm glad I'm not in his position having to try and make those decisions. But there's a few players that need minutes. Shelby definitely needs it, and a start. Sam Maximan needs to have at least a half of football in his legs. Get Jamal Lascelles on the pitch as well. Get Elliot Anderson the game. He's just been getting those sub appearances, but it'd be good for him to have a start as well. I think he will rotate quite a bit of the team. Hopefully rest like Bruno. Callum Wilson should be rested. Maybe Broughton in the last 10 minutes or so against Crystal Palace. There's a lot of players that need some minutes to start a game and try and get some rhythm to themselves. You know what I mean? Chris Wood scored today. That he's got a bit of confidence going into the next game. Jacob Murphy's been having a nice little run, but I think he might be feeling the heat from Sam Maximan coming back. He should be starting next week, from what we've seen from Eddie Howe, that he doesn't like to break up a winning team. But I don't know whether that's gonna be strategy going forward over the next few months, because when you've got high quality players, is it a good thing just to continue playing the players who have been part of a team that's been winning? But Murphy's been playing okay, but I don't think he's really been making anyone think, oh, he deserves to be starting all the time. But he's been a capable deputy during Sam Maximan's absence. So we'll have to see how he continues to play. But if he's going to be playing next week Saturday, then Callum Wilson definitely has to be on the pitch with Miguel Almiron, because we need as much attacking threats as possible. And there's times where Jacob Murphy just I don't know. It's just the inconsistency within him, but he has been showing more consistency during this run of games that he's had, and as he's always available, to be honest. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, it's I don't know who else can we brought in that I'm thinking about joining this game against Southampton. Talk about Sven Botman as well. He struggled a bit today. His passing was a bit erratic and wasn't at his usual standards. But you could see the passion he has when we conceded a goal because he was not happy at all. But it wasn't just him in the defence. I would say probably Dan Burn and Fabian Schell were the best defensive performers. Kieran Trippier had a couple of errors defensively, but he also got an assist and he was quality with his set pieces and his deliveries as normal. So yeah, just looking throughout the team, everyone had their moments where it was a bit sloppy, but also had the moments where they showcased their talents. Willock finally got a goal that he's been waiting a very long time for, and Bruno G came up with that the icing on the cake to make it 4-1. Because even at that time, even though we were 3-1 up, Southampton were trying to push back a bit, but he just cut through them with that finish, and he just knocked all the air out of them finally. Then when it was 4-1, they realised the game was up, so any fight was just totally knocked out of them, and that was a good thing because they did try very hard, and they did have their moments where they were causing us problems. But like I said earlier, the quality just shone through. Yeah, so that's most of my observations for today's game. I don't know what you think. Just a comment, and we can try and discuss our thoughts, our respective thoughts on the game. So you can reach me on Toontyme1892 on Twitter, and it's Toontyme on YouTube. There's also a Twitch account, but that's still in development. So yeah, once again, thank you for listening wherever you are. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Peace.